All right, shut that door. All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the Monday Zoom training call. If you're on here for the very first time, welcome. Obviously, I'm Mark Alfano. I'm Platinum 5 Ambassador with this company, Vollara. And what I'm going to go over with you guys today is a healthy home show and how to be successful at it. We've been talking a lot about HHSs. Mike just did a whole thing on Monday night's call last week about the new video, and then they added in my close, which is it's kind of helpful for people who are interested in learning how to close the meeting, on the actual business opportunity as opposed to closing the business or closing it on the closing it on the sale. Which if you want to close your meetings on the sale, that's awesome. Go for it. What I say is keep the options open for people. And so Mike, he was saying, oh, Mark pulls him aside and all this. And I really don't do that. What I do is I build value on my product. So if you have ever been to HHS that I've done live, number one is be prepared. Look, we can make the greatest videos in the world and you show up at somebody's house and the video doesn't play. All right. So make sure that you're prepared with your own personal testimony about the products and how they work. So I've never ever played a video at a HHS. What the video, in my opinion, what you should be using your video for is to learn about all the products. So that video is your tool to learn your spiel. Okay. Because one thing about sales is if it sounds scripted, people don't want to buy it. Okay. I've worked in door-to-door sales. I've been in sales my whole life. And one thing that
Oh,
people
why
pick
am I
up
not
on right
hearing
away
you?
is whether or not you're genuine, whether or not it's coming from your heart versus from somebody else's heart. So when I was in door to door, they would give you a script. And for the first couple of days, you were reading off of a script at somebody's door, and people would blow you off. I mean, but as the season for that business rolled on for me, the more it became my personal story, because I sold security systems. So I'd sell a system to somebody, and then, I'd get a call back that somebody tried to rob their house, and the system, and they have video of people actually trying to break into their car. And if it wasn't for this system, blah, 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 blah. And it became my personal story at every door that I went to. So you start out with the script. So your video is good to use, but I wouldn't use it as a crutch. Don't use it as like, hey, listen, I gotta have this video because we're trying to make it 35 minutes and all. Look, I can do the entire presentation in 12 minutes. I have a 12-minute video that literally goes through the entire product line in 12 minutes. Okay. The 35-minute video is great, but would I use it as my sole presentation, for an HHS? Christina, make sure you text the team to let them know everybody's on. You might have already done that, but would I use that as my sole, presenting tool? No, I wouldn't do that. Okay. And the reason why is because your heart's not into it. People buy because you're excited about it. All right. So take the videos that we've made, and in the beginning you can use them like just like me on a door with a script. Did I make a sale? Yeah. I mean, one every couple of days I could transition and close a deal. But ultimately it came down to my personal experience with the product. Listen, if you're not using the product, then you have to borrow someone else's experience with the product. you know so it's like, I mean, some people started the business risk-free option. They have no money invested in it. They're not using the product. And so whenever people ask you, so tell me what you think about living water. Well, I'm thinking I'm trying to save up the money to buy one, and it's something that's on my wish list, and blah 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 blah. Then they're gonna see straight through you. Then what you do is you say you have to borrow somebody else's story. You say, "Oh, living water. Well, let me tell you this. A friend of mine has it in their house, and they had somebody visit from Alaska, and the person tasted the water, and they're like, "This tastes like glacial water from Alaska. How much can I pay you for a gallon of your water?" I mean, that's my story, but use it as your story. You put yourself in that position until you can actually get your own personal testimony with the product. So the key is to personalize your business to make it your own, right? You don't want to make it somebody else's story all the time. You borrow someone else's, story until you have your own stories and it becomes your own. That's why, for me personally, I like to turn, because one thing I saw with Vollara early on is they lack in, which a lot of direct sales companies are really, really good at, is opportunity meetings. Now, Mike does an opportunity meeting on Zoom on Friday nights. Okay. He does a tech talk followed by a business opportunity meeting. All right. But most networking companies, network marketing companies, this is what this is, right? Look, and if you say I hate network marketing, then it's a direct sales company. Okay. So it's not network marketing. But let's just face it, right? We build teams. Most companies like that, they focus 100% on team building. 100%. Like, you go to a meeting and it's not about buying a product. Nobody buys the products in these businesses, right? They all join the business and they buy auto ship and this kind of thing. So we have a hybrid company with a product that we need to be using, but we lack on the whole opportunity meeting side of it. Okay. If anything, that's something that we need to focus on, or you need to focus on. Like, hey, look, you can have an HHS, but to me, an HHS is an opportunity meeting. It's an opportunity to get people in your house and expose them to what you're excited about, right? If you're looking at as just a salesman, guys, I want to tell you something. The economy right now is not so great, right? I mean, I'm out there, we're around people, and you're watching. I talked to a guy yesterday in a restaurant who owns a turkey business, and he says they were doing 12,000, I think it was 14,000 turkeys, growing live turkeys to sell to stores and stuff. He said now they're down to like 4,000. Okay, so like things are changing, the economy's changing, people's buying habits are changing, right? And so if I invite you to my house and you're uncertain about your future and you're looking at your 401k disappear and you're looking at the cost of gasoline go up and the strategic reserves being depleted, and you look at all these things in the natural, and then I'm asking you to spend $7,000 or $8,000 on product, it's not going to be an easy transition for you. Okay. So if I take that same exact person and I flip the meeting into an opportunity meeting, and there's the old school Vollara reps that are so hardcore into direct sales that they literally think that what I'm doing is crazy. Like, I talk to some of these old school reps, like, you can't do that. You can't tell people that there's a wholesale price. That's not the way we operate. Listen, I don't really care. I see an opportunity to share a business with somebody that can literally change their financial future, change their life, and add an extra couple $1,000s a month to your bottom line, and you can save money. It's a 100% no-brainer for me. Look, if you don't like it, then don't build a team, do wholesale retail, book trade shows, go out on the circuit, and do that. But here's the problem. I hear stories about people who do trade shows, and you have that one guy who went out and made $100,000 in a month at a trade show. Okay, great. But how many of those people that he sold, number one, is he following up with? Because how can you follow up with, you sell 100 units in a show? How can I follow up with those people? How can I make sure that their cells are still working a year later? What is my follow-up plan with those people? Number one. But number two is how many of those people could have been a Vollara rep in my business that opened up their network to me? There's people in our business that didn't want to be in the business. They just wanted to be a customer of ours. And I still said to them, listen, hey, look, I know you're interested in buying 2 air machines for your house. 2 air machines is $3,000, or for $2,700, you can flip it into a whole house protection with 2 air machines, a water, and a laundry. Why would I do that? In like, people say, Mark, why would you do that? Because you could have sold those 2 machines and made $1,800 or whatever, or a little less. And instead you flip it into a whole house pack and you made 500. Like, you just literally gave away $1,200. Why'd you do it? Because I don't know what that person's network holds, right? Their value is their influence. Your influence is your value. I can't influence people that I don't know, but you can. And so when I bring you onto my business and I give you a vested interest and say, listen, I'm going to sell you at my cost, my wholesale cost. Now you have a vested interest in it. You're going to go out and you're going to tell your friends and family about what we have our hands on. then what happens is all of a sudden that person starts to open up their network to you, right? I mean, hey, there's people on this call. I know, even like I was just talking to John. He could have come to a meeting and I could have sold him a water machine, and that would have been it. We could have made $1,000 and hey, see you later. Good luck with your water machine. But instead, he joined the business, and I don't prejudge anybody. I don't say, well, he's retired and no, I look at everybody has an opportunity. Everybody has a network. I don't care your age or whatever. I mean, hey, look, my son was looking for ways to make money, right? Because he had like $400 and then he spent it on some Star Wars gear, and he says, Dad, he goes, he's like got open his piggy bank and he was counting his money out, and he goes, Dad, I only have like $6 now, and I need him to go out and make some money. So we're like, yeah, that's fine. Well, next thing you know, he's online Googling like side hustles, like what can I do to make extra money on the side? And he's like into maybe doing surveys or whatever, which I was like, I don't know about all that. I said, why don't you just do Vollara with us? Well, man, he went on to my website. He saw buy now or join. He clicked on it. He went into risk-free option. He set himself up with business. He's 9 years old. And I'm not going to discourage him, right? And then next thing you know, he's talking to his grandma, and he sold her a bunch of vitamins. And then he got into the back office, and he really started to study the back office. He's 9, guys. Seriously, he's probably studied the back office more than half the people on my team. Like, he was showing me things that he said, Dad, look, we sell a heater now. I didn't even know it. Okay, so he was in the back. Then he was showing me these drop down tabs in the back office that I never saw before. Like, I've been in this business for over 2 years, and almost 2 years. And he's like, look, if you click on bundles and packages and you click this button, it drops down and it says nutrition and technology. I never knew that. I mean, maybe you guys knew, but I didn't know it. And so here's my 9-year-old who's like diligently every day gets out his computer, he looks at his back office, he's reading, he's like checking his numbers. He's like, hey, I'm active because I gotta, because grandma signed. And here's the other thing too. When he sold the vitamins to his grandma, he said, look, grandma, why don't you cash out me the money, and then I'll go in. And he went in and he put a subscription and he had it drop shipped to her. I mean, so these are things like, hey, look, I'm not going to discriminate against him because he's 9, and I'm not going to discriminate against somebody because they're older and think, well, they've already run the race and blah, blah. I'm not going to do that. So everybody has an opportunity to get in this business with me and make extra money. Because here's the thing: is people can say no to me all day long, but when a 9-year-old approaches them and says, hey, I started a business and I'd like you to take a look at my website, people who said no to me will say, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Send me your website. Let me see what I can find. And they might just go in there and buy like a mobile unit just to make him happy. So yesterday we were out at a restaurant, and I said I had to run to the restroom, and I come back and he takes my phone, and he's standing next to the table next to us, and he's showing the guy pictures. He's got a picture of him and the governor of Florida and different stuff. And then this conversation strikes up between him and the table next to us. And then eventually the guy asked, what do we do? And I said, I sell air sanitizers, and we open schools and churches and businesses. And then the wife says, hey, I have really bad allergies, and my doctor said I'm not going to live very long if I don't get this thing under control. Well, hey, I said, my son has a business, and oh, he does? Yeah. Does he have a website, or does he have a business card? And he gets over there and gives her his website and tells her how to log on and gives her his cell phone number. And here's somebody that could potentially now spend through his website. And this guy owns this big turkey farm and all this stuff. So we don't know where it could go, right? But here's a 9-year-old's perspective. Now, does he get upset when people don't want to buy? Sure. And like most of us do. And like I told him, the people who win are the ones who press in, right? You're only going to win if you press in, because you know what? We're all going to get no's. I mean, each and every one of us, people are going to tell us, no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't. Because the thing is, they don't know what they're saying no to. You don't know. And so for me, like what I was trying to teach him was, I said, listen, don't get emotional about a no, because eventually your no turns into a yes. You just have to be there to collect it whenever they say yes. That's all. Most people quit. Most people, They get a no, 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 no. And then they say, forget this, the stupidest thing I've ever joined. I don't want to do it anymore. And then they just give up. And then that person down the road realizes that you had a solution to one of their problems. It's like I told him, he was trying to sell my brother stuff. And he's like, Uncle Bill, I got this heater and it actually is an air purifier. And, of course, they're in the camp in the mountains and, they burn wood and, blah, blah, blah. And every time he saw an opportunity, hey, this could be a solution to your problem. He was trying to find a solution to the problem. And then, they left the candle on top of the wood burning stove and it smoked up the house. And sure enough, there's my son. Hey, if you had that heater, you wouldn't have this problem. And so, and he hasn't made a sale yet. And I said, well, maybe you should focus on water for him because, they're using bottled water and, they could be using water right out of their spigot. And then he switched gears and started talking about our water. And now he's kind of like, well, look, he's not going to buy. I've tried. So, he just stopped asking. But it doesn't matter to me. Like the fact is what I was trying to teach him is just like all of us, is just stay consistent, stay persistent, stay in the game, and eventually you're going to hit a home run. Look, guys, what does it cost you to be a Vollara rep? Nothing, zero. It doesn't cost you a dime, right? It was free to join. It's free to stay on board. If you join with a pack, you got a great deal. You didn't spend a bunch of money. Nobody's bothering you. Hey, look, I have people who will email me back. I'll send them an email. Hey, just like you got my email. And I've had people who email me and they say, take me off your list. And I say, look, click on subscribe. If you don't want to be a part of what we're doing, I'm perfectly fine with that. Look, a house divided can't stand anyway. So if you're in this business and that business and the other business and you have 50 irons in the fire, you're not going to be successful at anything you do because you're not focused on one thing. Does that mean you can't have multiple streams of income? No, you can have multiple streams of income as long as those two streams aren't competing against one another. If you think that you can be successful in two networking businesses at the exact same time, show me people who've done it. Because most of the time when you see the top income earners in a business, it's that they're laser focused. And when they start to lose focus is when their team starts to say, hey, look, I signed up with so-and-so. Now he's off on some other thing. And people start to pull their focus because you pulled your focus, right? So that's why for me and Christina, hey, I've been in network marketing since I was 18 years old. And I've literally stayed with businesses way beyond the business's lifespan most of the time, right? Because I'm dedicated to a brand. I didn't have people join me to just join me and then go jump onto the next opportunity, to next opportunity, next opportunity. So that's why we're here right now. Okay. It's because I believe in what we're doing. I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's an amazing product. Okay. So anyways, I said all that just to say that when I'm at an HHS, I'm not prejudging anybody. Okay. So why do I choose to close with the business is really because it's fear of loss. I see that there's a network of somebody's network that could potentially be my network. And so, hey, it could be on my 5th, 6th, 7th level deep that somebody big joins my business who's got a huge network. Maybe they get into a school system. Maybe they close the multi-million-dollar deal. That's a game changer for each and every one person in that line. It was worth it for me to give up the money on the front end to make them a few extra dollars, to save them extra money, but eventually something good's going to come out of it. It's like sowing and reaping. I sow into people, and eventually something good comes out of it. There's nothing worse than when you hear people who all they want to talk about is the money that they've made. Oh man, I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've made this, I've made that. But my question is how many people have you empowered? How many people have you helped make extra money? How many lives have you changed in the process of making your money? I could care less if you made $40 million. If you made it on the backs of other people, then it was no good anyway. Because now you're at the top and you're all alone, right? I remember when I was in the restaurant business and, it was like the higher up I got into the industry, that my friends who were other chefs and restaurant owners just say, Mark, it's lonely at the top because there's no one else up there. It's like you get up there and then you're all by yourself. And I said, no, because the way I built my business was by lifting up the people who are around me. It was never about me hitting the top. It was about my team achieving a goal. It was never just about me. It was, listen, any great, and I learned it from the greatest restaurant, the greatest chefs in literally in our country and maybe in the world who I had the opportunity to work with. And they would say, and I would say, man, I heard that, so and so said, that you're the greatest chef. And the greatest chef looks at me and says, I don't even know what that means, because it's not about me. It's about a team. It's about a collaboration. I can't do it without the person who's working day in and day out to make sure that the product's right. I mean, and for that industry, it goes all the way back to the farmer who grows the produce, right, and raises the animal. So when you see the true leaders in any industry, they're people who are not self-serving, but they're serving other people. It's like it's very biblical. It's like John the Baptist says, I have to decrease so that he can increase. So sometimes we have to go down a level so that you can go up. And then when you go up, then you're going to help us get back to where we want to be. Okay. So anyways, keep that in mind. So when you're out there and you're doing your HHS, make it a personal thing. So when I'm with people, like we just did HHS in Pittsburgh, and of course they put the video on the disk drive and they plugged it into the TV set, and sure enough, it didn't work. Right. I mean, I was trying everything, and then the time's ticking by and they're up there trying to fix the TV, and it's like going on. And I said, look, let's just do it. You got 6 people here who are in the business. They're all excited about the business. You got guests here. Each person takes an element and talks about it. So Debbie Stutzman gets up and she talks about something, and Joyce got up and she talks about something, and Barb gets up and she talks about something, and collectively, and then I got up and just closed the room. That's all. Okay. And so that's the way an HHS needs to be. And are you going to hear that on a national call on a Monday night? No, you're not going to hear that, because there's too many differing opinions of how an HHS needs to be run and how it should be closed. So they have to keep it politically correct. Okay. So if you see me on a Monday night and I'm doing a training, just so you know, I've been coached on what I can say and what I can't say. But on this call, this is my team. And I'm going to tell you how it is. And I'm going to tell you what works the best for us and how we've been able to be the #1 HHS team in the entire company, is because we've put other people's success ahead of our success. And we've taken it straight from our heart. So anyways, well, all I do is I take people through a walk through our product line. And I start with the Fresh Air Personal. It's like you've got to visualize the product and you have to walk people through it. Why do I use it? Why do I start with Fresh Air Personal? Because it's like a foundational piece of the technology that we use. It's a brush ionizer that drops particles out of the air, right? Which that technology is not only in Fresh Air Personal, it's in Fresh Air Mobile, it's in Pet Refresh, it's also in our Air and Surface Pro, and it's also in our Living Proof demo. So when I can start, and it's a great way, listen, if you're at a trade show, which we just finished a trade show and it wasn't that great, but we did make a sale, we kind of cleared well, we didn't even make any money, so I'm not going to go there. But what I saw is that people, you have to find the hook to get people in the booth. And sometimes it's your Fresh Air Personal. Excuse me, are you, especially with people with masks on, hey, can I show you my mask? And they're looking at you like, where's your mask at? And then I hold it up. Hey, look, when we travel on airplanes and people see it, what is that thing? Is that a pager? Are you a nurse? Do you work for the airlines? Because they see you have a lanyard on. And no, this is my mask. What? It's a mask? You mean I don't have to wear a mask anymore? And then Christina was on a plane, and all the flight attendants want to know about the mask. How do I get the mask? Where do I get the mask from? So now he's got to follow up and close the deal. So that's why I start there. Brush ionization. What does brush ionizers do? It drops all the particles out of the air. Why is that good for you? Look, if you have asthma, allergies, COPD, if your house is smelly, getting particles out of the air is crucial. Okay. If that's all that we did, just like when we were at the camp and the room fills up with smoke and I take my mobile unit and plugged it in, it helps to drop that particle out of the air and gets the smoke out of the air. Do you think that that's something of value? Sure it is. And the fact that it's doing a 3 meter circle around my body, you know, it's a foundational piece. That's my gateway. That's my entrance point into my HHS. I talk about that. Then once you've talked about that, then you could show living proof demo. And then you could talk about how that same technology is in the pet refresh that, hey, look, if you make an order today, I'll give you a pet refresh. It can be yours for free. If you don't make an order, you can buy one from me. And then I talk about the mobile unit. And then we talk about, that technology is then it's coupled with, in some cases, low level ozone, like in the mobile unit. Why is ozone bad versus why is ozone good? And then I kind of pause and I take them on a journey through what we used to do to where we are today. And I talk about, hey, look, if somebody sneezed right now in this room and that big window behind me was the world's greatest HEPA filter, do you realize that sneeze has to fill this entire room before it ever hits that filter? So then I start talking about the past, then I talk about the Remington halo and the blue light in the furnace, and how, the virus has to sit in front of the blue light for, 3 inches away for 3 minutes to be deactivated, and how that stuff doesn't work. And then I talk about outer space and how what happened on the International Space Station, how they were trying to grow potatoes and the potatoes kept dying. And then they looked at the sun for the answer, and the sun was blasting this plasma, and it was busting apart, the water molecules, and it was releasing hydrogen and oxygen and these super oxides and hydroxyls, right? And I'm painting a visual picture. I'm not using a video. I'm just talking, because I've watched the video over and over and over again. I've seen Mike talk about it. I've heard Dr. Troy, and I've seen the videos, and I've studied the material. Like my son, who's 9, is studying the material right now. Okay. And so then I talk about the honeycomb matrix and how, look, PCO technology took 6 hours to clean that capsule, 6 hours. And what we did was we've improved it. We took PCO and we turned it into Active Pure by doping the matrix. That sounds like a movie, right? Doping the matrix. But it's not. What we did was we put precious metals compounds on that honeycomb matrix, which took it from 6 hours to 60 seconds. Air and surfaces. Your fogger is not going to do that. Lysol is not going to do that. All the junk that people bought in the last 2 years to protect themselves is not going to do it. And then people, then you got to play the devil's advocate. Well, COVID's over now. And, who cares? I never cared about COVID. I never wore a mask. I never social distanced. I was the person that was always getting screamed at in grocery stores. I don't care about COVID, because you know what? Is dust gone away in the last 2 years? No. Has asthma gone away? Has allergies gone away? Has the common cold gone away? Has the flu gone away? It's still out there, guys. So what's your excuse? You know what? If people gave up on this business because of COVID, then they got into the business because of all the wrong reasons. Okay, because then they were building a business based on fear as opposed to based on what the health benefits were of clean air. Okay, so anyways, that was a little side note. So I can care less about COVID, but I talk about the honeycomb matrix, and I talk about how that technology, that Active Pure technology, is in our mobile unit, how it's in the pet refresh, how it's in our Air and Surface Pro. So now you've talked about ionization, you've talked about ozone, you talked about HEPA filters, and yeah, our ASP has a HEPA filter on the back. It's not about cleaning the air; it's about keeping the internal workings of the machine clean. But now you have a crossroads, because you've got them on the air. Now, which way am I going to take them? Am I going to take them into laundry, or am I going to take them into water? Because I've talked about ions. So then I talk about ionization and how we use this mesh or direct disc ionization to separate the acid in your water, so that you can have good, clean, alkaline water coming out the top tube and your acidic wastewater going out your bottom tube. How through the electrical voltage in that disc plate, you can ramp up the pH level of your water. You can take it from a 5 or super acidic all the way up to a 10, right? And then I talk about, just like I did in the air, I'm going to now transition into why, what we used to do, right? We used to just filter water. Then they got into reverse osmosis. and how reverse osmosis doesn't work because it's positively charged water for positively charged cells. You know, we're at the mountains. I was drinking bottled water. We bought a case of 24 bottles of spring water. And man, I was drinking like bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle, and I was still thirsty. It's because the water is dead. There's nothing to it. There's no life in it. It's the wrong charge. It's acidic. It's all these things, right? When you realize the difference between living water that's alkaline, that's negatively charged, it's a game changer, right? So now I've walked them down the water road, and I talk about H2 fuel and how what hydrogen does for your body and how it handles the itises and all these things, right? So now you can transition because of Active Pure. You know, look, we saw how effective Active Pure was in the air. What about in the water or in water, right? And when we saw that you could make super oxides in the air, these oxidizers in the air, and they said if we can put that in laundry water, you could literally mechanically treat your water, because water isn't, soap doesn't clean your clothes. Soap treats the water so the water can clean your clothes. I never knew that until I got into this business. I just thought soap bubbles cleaned your clothes. And then I thought that was some chemical that sanitized, and it wasn't. All you were doing was adding chemicals into the water so that the water could clean your clothes. We can mechanically do that, right? How do you do that? You do it with Active Pure and a laundry pure. And I talk about laundry, and I talk about, then I asked a quick survey, guys, how many of you here breathe? Okay, great. So everyone here breathes. If you're not, we'll call a doctor, we'll get you fixed up. So everyone here should be using our air products. How many of you drink water, coffee, tea, Kool-Aid, right? And you want to have it better. So everybody here should be drinking some water. So that's 2 products that you need to be using. How many of you wear clothing? How many of you wash your clothes? So now that's 3 products everybody needs. Okay. So you're building value, building value, building value. I mean, I don't even talk about steady power. I don't talk about the new heater, which who knows, now that the heater's out and winter's coming, and you know, we got La Nina now, and even they said the southeast is going to be cold this winter. And you know, man, when it gets cold in Florida, people freak out because, you know, when it gets down into the 40s in Florida, it's like the 20s up here in Pennsylvania, right? So people, like, they react to it. So now we have a solution to that, but I don't even get into any of that. So then the next step is nutrition, which, if, hey, our HHS video, we don't even really talk about nutrition. So when you think about it, what's the number one concern people have is, Mark, if this machine kills all the bacteria in the air, what about the good bacteria we need? And I always say, you're not breathing your good bacteria, you're eating it. So it's really about getting the most nutrition out of the food that you're eating. That's where Essentials for Life comes in. We spent $6 million on the production of this product. And so it's this walk through your product line. Look, I'm not using a script. I'm not using a book. I'm not using, it's a visually, like I'm in my mind, I'm walking down the product path, and I'm taking you on a journey with me through it. So then we're going to talk a little bit about nutrition. You know, what's your booster shot? Look, they made a vaccine that you need 75 boosters for it to work. I don't need a booster because I can take my resist every day. I'd rather boost my immune system than boost my body full of some unknown chemical. Not going to do it. Okay. And so you get into your resist, you get into your Essentials for Life, you get into recoup, you talk about keto zone. I can't start my day without keto zone, you know. Oh, you know, Mark, I was looking at keto zones, and it's like $5 a pack. You know, 20 of those things is $100. Well, yeah, if I bought it retail, number one, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to buy it I'm going to buy it on a subscription. It's going to save me some money. The second thing is I'm going to buy it when it's on sale, and you can buy 2, get 1 free. So anytime that comes up, I'm buying like 2 months, 3 months supply. But the other thing is how much is a Starbucks coffee? I mean, think about it. We were doing a trade show, and I was getting myself coffee. My wife and I would walk over to this coffee shop, 2 coffees, $14. I think 2 keto zones for $10 is a heck of a lot better deal. It switches on my brain. It gets me into ketosis. It gets all my like mental Man, well, I tell you what, when I'd be on keto zones in the morning, you can feel it. It's like you're alive, you're awake. When I'm not on it, I can feel it. It's like you're missing something, right? Then I finish every day with my perfect start, right? Well, it's called perfect start. Why do you finish it? I don't know. It's just the way we've always done it. I like to have a hickory log on the fire to burn fat while I'm sleeping. That's just me. Okay, you can start your day with perfect start. You can hit a keto zone in the middle of the day. It's completely up to you how you do it. Some people like Revive. Some people like, I mean, you can go down the list. Maybe you like to use the CBD salve if you got aches and pains. Maybe you like to take whatever. I mean, if you got circulation problems, there's things for you. If you need memory issues, there's Remind. I mean, if you got joint pain, we have something for it, right? So, anyways, I take you on a walk through nutrition. Why do I do all that? Because I'm building value on the entire product line. So at this point, we've talked about air, laundry, water. We've not only that, we've talked about the mobile, with the personal, the pet. We've talked about H2 fuel, and we talked about nutritional products. Has there anything that I've missed at this point besides the steady power and the heater? No, nothing. Okay, this is why when you do it this way, and look, I'm doing this in like a 12-minute period. I'm taking longer right now because I'm training on it. But if you were at an HHS and you can run through this, notice I'm not using slides, I'm not using videos, I'm not using charts and graphs. It's just me telling you a story of why our stuff's so much better. So now you've built tremendous value on your product. And I go down the list. Listen, if you want, look, I mean, what is Essentials for Life? $65. What is a keto zone? It's $100. What is Perfect Start? And you think about this in your head. The value continues to grow and grow and grow and grow, right? So you walk them through the thing. Look, if you want to buy a water, it's $2,500. If you want to buy a laundry, it's $1,500. If you want to buy air, it's $1,500. What? Look, most homes are going to need 2 airs. Why do you need 2? I have a smaller home because you're going to want to go out and demo this to your friends, your family. You want to take one. You need a travel unit. You need a backup unit, whatever. So now I'm looking at 2 air, water, laundry. $7,000 is your investment in something like that. Which, hey, look, some people want to do that. Eventually we're going to have financing available, and when that comes, maybe I'll shift the way I do my business and focus more on retail wholesale, because everybody buys everything now on credit. Now, can we do easy pay? Sure. You can get somebody on easy pay. Can you do PayPal credit? Yeah. But most people are too lazy to do that. Okay. Easy pay, you got to fill out a bunch of paperwork, you got to make phone calls, you got to submit stuff. Most people are just, they don't want to deal with it. Okay. PayPal credit, you still got to be able to get a PayPal credit card, blah, blah, blah. But when we have built-in financing where we can go in and just type their information in, run a soft credit check, however it's going to work, and say, yeah, look, you're approved for $3,000. What do you want to buy? That then we can make a game adjustment. We can make an adjustment to the way we do our business, right? But for now, I build that value at 7,000. Then I say, look, you're probably going to want to get some nutritional products. You're going to want to get an H2 fuel bottle, which is another $300. Maybe they want a pet refresh. And then how do you build your value? See, we used to give away a personal unit if somebody joined with a pro pack. Now they're doing a pet refresh, which pet refresh is cool. It's for one room. It has active pure technology. It's a good item. But personal is nice too, because it gets your name, it gets your product right in front of everyone. Pet refresh, you're going to plug it in above their litter box and no one ever gets to see it. Or if you give them a personal, this is something you can take out of your own budget. Buy a 6-pack of personals, have them with you at your HHS and say, look, anybody who acts tonight, not tomorrow, not the next day, not tomorrow, anybody who says I'm in tonight, and you make a purchase, whether it's a one Air and Service Pro or you join with a pro pack, you're getting one of these tonight. It's a call to action move. That's 100% up to you if you want to do it, right? So now you're at about $7,500 value. Who's up? Who's ready? Who wants to go first? And that's how I end my meeting. Who wants to go first? Now listen, I'm going to show you the deal. Have you guys ever been to a trade show before? Have you ever been to Have you ever watched the masters sell? I mean, I grew up at trade shows and guys like Billy Mays. Remember Billy Mays that sold OxyClean and all that stuff? He used to come to shows that I was at, and I watched the guy build value, and he'd hand people a Ginzu knife, and he'd hand somebody a lemon squeezer, and he'd hand somebody a package. Here, hold this, hold that. You're taking ownership of it. He'd build this massive value on it, then he'd give you the price drop. And that's all that I'm doing. And listen, guys, if you want two air, a laundry, a water today, $7,000 value, you can join the club. Cost you $0 to join the club. This is not like Sam's Club and Costco where you got to pay to be a member to buy in bulk. You know, do you really save money when you shop at Sam's Club or Costco? Do you really save money? Because I know what, when I go to Aldi, I buy 6 items, it costs me $20. When I go to Sam's Club, I buy 6 items, it costs me $150. Am I really saving money? I'm spending $150, but I'm buying in volume, right? I'm buying in bulk. So the difference is my Aldi's 6 items is gone in 3 days. My Sam's Club 6 item is gone in 30 days. So when you weigh it out, you are saving money, but you're spending more to save more. So could somebody come to your party and spend $1,200 and get an air sanitizer, spend less money, get one? Or could they spend a little more money and get it in bulk? Okay. So the difference is you're not paying for a membership to be a member of this club, but now you're getting a $7,000 value for right around $3,000. It's 2,600 and change plus tax and shipping. Plus, you know, you got to, I'm going to give you a free H2 fuel bottle, but you have to pay shipping and tax on that. Okay. So, I mean, it's really not going to be free, but you are going to have to pay a little shipping, a little tax on it. And then I'm going to give you, if you want to give them a pet refresh, maybe give them the option. Say, do you want a pet refresh or do you want a personal unit? Okay. And, but you're acting today, not tomorrow, not the next day, not the day after. Okay. So where does the video come in then? Because we spent a lot of time putting together a beautiful video for you guys, and it came out great. I mean, I played it at my trade show. I had it on the TV on a loop running the whole time. People, and it draws people in. There was a guy standing just watching the video, and it's amazing. It's really well done. And who cares if it's 35 minutes or 45? Hey, look, if you're going 35, you might as well go 45. 10 minutes ain't going to make or break you. So you can use either one. Use a shorter one, use a longer one. Okay, but let me tell you where it comes in handy. Let's say your numbers are short to qualify you for a show. You have so many days to close it out. That's where your virtual side comes in. I call the list of people who didn't show the day of the event and say, listen, you have 24 hours to watch this video and get back to me if you want an order or not. Okay, that's where your video can be an extra close to catch 2 or 3 extra sales, to boost your numbers, to get bigger gifts for your show. See, to me, I don't even lead off with, hey, host a show and you're going to get a bunch of free stuff. I don't like that. Because if you host a show and you get everything for free, then you're not going to buy anything. So we're creating this situation where nobody buys anything, just host shows to get stuff for free. It doesn't work. But if you use that free incentive for them to rebook a show, hey, John, if you book a show at your house, then we're going to come out and now you can earn a bunch of free stuff that you can turn around and sell it, use it, do whatever you want to do with it. You can get a AP 500, you can get a mobile unit, you can maybe get a laundry pure, maybe you can get everything. Okay. The other side of the coin is that now if somebody joins your business, the company is going to, and they create a certain amount of volume, the company's going to give you a bunch of free stuff. So let's just say you go to your HHS and only one person shows. Turn it into an opportunity meeting, guys. Sign that person up in your business with a pack and earn yourself some free stuff. They win, you win, everybody wins. Like, don't look at like, how can I take the purchase away and give them a bunch of free stuff? No, don't do that. I don't mind giving it to them at my cost, but I'm not going to say just host so you can get everything for free. No, I don't like that. So you can use it if you want to use it. I use it as, now that you've joined my business, Ruth, now you can run with this business. And here's how you're going to do it. We're going to come to your house. And as an incentive, you as the host can earn a bunch of free stuff. And look, if nobody shows and only one person joins, you're still going to earn a bunch of free stuff because we're not going to make it an HHS right now. We're going to turn it into an opportunity meeting where the person joins your business, you get points, and everybody wins. Okay, so guys, think about that. So then I drop out that price, 2,600 bucks, giving you a free H2 fuel bottle. And on top of that, because they join with the Pro Pack, they're going to get $75 in free nutritional products. So now you can, and I say, look, get on there, use your subscription, do it on subscribe and save, apply your $75 credit towards that first order because you've already got points in the first month, guys. Like these are things that if you wait and they want to use that to be active and they apply the 75 points, then they lose 75. If they apply $75, they lose 75 points and they're not active. But if it's in their very first month and they join with a Pro Pack, they've got 1,250 points. They are active. They're set for the entire month. That's the month you want them to get on subscribe and save with that $75 product credit. It's almost like a no-brainer now. So now you've joined the business, you bought the stuff at my cost. Hey, look, I had somebody join my business and they did, I don't want to do the business, Mark. That's fine. I have a neighbor who wants to buy the stuff. If they buy the stuff, we're going to put it through you. I don't want to sell. That's fine. But guess what? They emailed me last night and said, hey, I can't be on the call today. Are you going to record it? Wow. Here's somebody that didn't want to be in the business that is interested in learning more about how to do the business. Maybe because they love what they got. Maybe because they came in on a Pro Pack and they're loving it. Maybe because they love the water. They can't believe that the laundry actually works. Their husband breathes better and doesn't get winded as much. Now all of a sudden they've taken interest. Hey, this stuff actually works, right? That's why the way we're doing this thing absolutely works. Okay. So my takeaway for this call, number one, be a product of the product, love the product you do, and be 100% focused on it. Does that mean that this is the only thing I'm focused on in my life? No, because my wife and I do other things, right? But as far as a direct selling opportunity, Vollara is it. Okay, people are going to come to me with every other opportunity out there. Look, if you want to use other products, if you want to support other companies, if you want to go buy a tower garden from Juice Plus or something, go for it. I don't really care. But as far as how you build, pick the one. Pick the one and run with that one. Run with one, okay? And see if it gets you to your victory. Because look, if you're not sold on it, you're not enthusiastic about it. If you're double-minded, then you're unstable in all your ways, right? If a house is divided, it'll never stand. So just pick it. Make Vollara your racehorse. Because why? Because I just went over why. We've got something for everyone. We got a product that everybody needs. We have one of the best compensation plans, period. If you don't know that, do like my 9-year-old's done and study it, right? Get in your back office, tear it apart, read everything. You know, it's crazy. Most of the questions people ask me are answered in the back office. They don't want to go and look. So it's easier to text me and say, hey, tell me about this or tell me about that. Why don't you look first and then let me know, okay? All right. So anyways, I'm going to close it up. We got 10 minutes to go, but here's what I will tell you is look in your back office under product categories or even on your front office product category more and check out the heater. Okay. It's basically a space heater for a house. It's a ceramic plate. It doesn't create any, gas or anything like that that can be harmful. We're coming into wintertime. You want safe heat. But it also has active pure technology that's cleaning the air at the same time. And it's good for 1,000 square feet. And it's like, I think the retail price is like 500 and change. Your cost is 300. It's worth like 125 points or whatever. So it's going to get you the points, that you need to be active for the month. I think really that if it gets a nice addition to, it's a lesser cost for somebody to get, okay, versus an Air Service Pro. That's half the coverage for the air, but it has the added feature of being a heater as well. Do you have to use the heat? No. So you could run it all year round. And when you need heat, you just flick the switch. Okay. So that's called the whatever hearth. Look into it. It could be something that you might want to just say, I'm going to get one to try it out. Winter's coming. I mean, we were just in the mountains. It was, freezing. Even here in Pennsylvania, it's like, the mornings, I think they had a frost warning last night. It's like in the mid to upper 30s, right? Some of you guys are up here, you know what I'm talking about. Even in Florida, come February, January, February, December, you're going to get cold nights. And who wants to run the whole house furnace when you can just stick one of these in your bedroom or whatever and stay warm, right? Stay warm, stay healthy, clean the air, as well as stay heated. So check that out. And then also look into the some of the incentives that they're giving away right now for people to join your business, and that you're earning back so much free product. Guys, if you have any desire to make money in this business, really focus on the whole big picture. We were so laser focused on air for the first 6-8 months. And come August, my first year, I said, man, there's so much more to this business than air. There's water, there's laundry, there's nutrition, stuff that I never really looked at. If you want to be successful, look at the big picture, right? Don't just look at wholesale retail. Look at team building. Don't just look at team building. Look at wholesale retail. Make sure that you're hitting every opportunity to make money. It's like this month, we did a show. So we did wholesale retailing. We did HHSs. We recruited people in our business. We've talked to people about the technology. We've sold nutrition. I had somebody today buy through my website 2 Essentials for Life, 2 bottles. So that's 80 points. Okay. So, hey, it's not going to make me, but guess what? That's 80 less points I have to worry about buying. Okay. So now I can focus on building and buying inventory and getting set up for my next trade show. When's my next trade show? March. Okay. I don't do them all the time. And even then, the one in March, I'm thinking like, gosh, do I even want to do it? Because there's so much more with an HHS. You have a captive audience. It's really where you guys need to be focused on building your business. Okay. So anyways, that's my challenge to you. Get in there, study it, be a product of the product, in just in summation. Don't worry about videos and tools and all these things. They're all great, but have a personal testimony that you can share with people about this product. Walk them through from point A all the way down to nutrition, build the tremendous value, drop the price to $2,700, close on a pro pack. And look, at the end of the day, if somebody says to you, Mark, I don't want a pro pack, I just want one machine, great. Friends and family price is $1,200. That's your call. It's your call. Somebody came through our show, they're interested in buying one machine. The first thing we said was, look, lady's pregnant, you're pregnant. You're going to need laundry. You're going to need living water. Why don't you just do the pro pack? No, I just want one machine. You know why? Because last year she bought the competitor's air purifier and she hated it. Didn't like the way it smelled. Didn't like how you had to clean the ozone plates. None of it. Didn't like there was no warranty on it. She come up to me and said, we made a mistake. Look, I'm here to help you. Okay, so these are things that we can do to really help people. Stick and stay, and you'll get the pay, guys. All right. So anyways, that's all I got for you this week. This is going to be recorded. I will email it out, and hopefully later this afternoon if I get some time. And then we're heading back down to Florida later this week. So if you're down there, we hope to see you. If you want to do some HHSs between now and December, please let us know because our schedule does book up. And that's it. So anyways, bless you guys. I just pray blessings on each and every one of your business. We pray that God puts a revival, fresh wind of fire into your life, into your business, into your finances, that the end of this year will be crowned with his glory. So that the last couple months of this year will be greater than the first half of this year. We pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Bless you guys. And that's it. We'll see you.
Thanks, Mark.
You
Thank
bet.
you.